Welcome back to the Break Room, our daily show that keeps you updated on all the nerdy news you need to know. Coming up, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, Ant-Man 3 updates, and this wonderful panel, starting all the way to my left, Eric Owusu.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
Yes, joining us, my fellow member of the Tom Squad, Tom Michelesen.
Hey, how's it going, fam? Not associated with Tomicon yet. That's only Tommy, but yes, thanks for having me, guys.
Yet being the key word.
You should start your own competitive Tomicon.
I can't beat the real Tommy.
You should do one at the same time.
Why compete when we could simply join up and become ultimate Tom?
That's true.
Causing division in the Tom community, Angelica Trae.
Hello. Hi, buddy.
And finally, to my right-hand man, the Paul to my John.
It's a Beatles thing.
No, it's a Jesus Christ Apostle thing.
I was worried.
John Costa!
Changing my name to Tom. You guys, we have some redemptions that we're doing today. We know Tomicon is right around the corner.
It's so close.
We have on good authority that if you raise $300 today, we will get a special video appearance by Eric Voss. We're adding people to the slate daily. Some of the people that are on this panel might show up and pop in. Who knows? If we hit $500, I'm going to pull out my phone. I'm going to call Eric. My phone is dying, so we only have a limited amount of time. And we're just going to get his take on whatever we're in the middle of doing, whether that be getting... So donate where you want him to appear, whether that be talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, whether that be a Skrull search segment that we're going to be doing, whether you want his take on mental health.
Yeah. Call him during the BetterHelp ad. Sure, BetterHelp would love that, actually.
You want his take on some Ant-Man, some Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 stuff. That's all we're talking about today. It's going to be a great show. Sorry to interrupt there.
No problem. And we are starting the ticker at $53 on behalf of Michael Seitz, who gave generously to have us call Voss yesterday, despite the fact that we had said that was not a redemption. But Michael, I always reward people that halfway listen, because that's how I go through life, baby, and that's why I'm going to be single forever. Now, I came up with this, didn't clear it with John, but I'm going to ask now a call to action to all of our Twitter fans. I want you to tweet at me or any of the other Breakroom hosts your Breakroom cosplay for Tomicon. And make sure you use the hashtag Tomicon, and make sure you use the hashtag NRBreakroom, because otherwise we won't be able to find you. Tweet at us. It can be regular cosplay. You want to show me your Transformers cosplay, that's fine. But if you want to cosplay as Brandon, I want you to show me that too. And I want you to send it to me. Hashtag Tomicon, Tomicon is the official Tomicon spelling, except no substitutions. Also, the Break Room is on TikTok, baby. That's right, at @the_Breakroom. Yesterday, Jess and I released a banger of a TikTok featuring the R2-D2 scream that everyone knows and loves. So you can hear it in eternity on our TikTok page now, or until Jessica sues me and I have to take it down. So follow us for even more Breakroom content. Let's get to those headlines.
Make it your ringtone while you still have time.
Yeah.
Let's get into those headlines, baby.
You
guys, we've got one headline today.
Oh yeah.
And we're gonna milk it. We got a lot of news at Comic-Con, so there's not a lot of news sort of following us for the rest of the week. But we did get confirmation today from Adult Swim that Rick and Morty Season 6 will debut on Adult Swim on September 4th. We're a little more than a month out. And if you weren't aware of this, I wasn't. Rick and Morty spin-off show, the Vindicators show, that is sort of a spin-off of that Season 3 episode. They did like 10 little baby mini episodes. Those are all out on YouTube right now. You can watch all 10 of them.
I didn't know that.
It's a lot of fun.
And I think what the answer to what everyone's asking right now, will Eric and I be back with Rick Explained? And the answer is Eric certainly will. Will I be back? That remains to be seen. We have an HR meeting every week, and I could be gone at any point. Who knows who will last after Tomicon?
To be honest, we tried to get rid of him this week, but he lives here.
That's right. Rick Explained will return, though, so fear not. Yes.
Yeah. I was kidding about not having a lot of headlines. What we're going to do is we're going to sort of go through all of the news for all the properties that we're talking about. So we're going to recap a little bit of Comic-Con stuff. We did show this on Saturday, but we got our first look at Catherine Newton's stature and Kang the Conqueror, proper the Conqueror, at the in the new Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania poster. Can we throw that up there?
Wow.
Ooh, look at that Comic-Con exclusive poster. You know, if you're fans of the Ant-Man franchise, you might know that they typically do like little tiny baby little ants on a white background. So I'm sure we'll get that poster with the addition of stature this time. But really cool to see sort of like classic Kang look.
Oh yeah.
Poster. We didn't get too much more of that. We did get a little description of Kang's look in the trailer footage that they showed to the Comic-Con audience. Right. Didn't have a helmet on in that footage. Didn't have any kind of blue face or anything like that. But we'll see how he ends up looking like in the whole movie. Okay. We also had Catherine Newton, who's the new Cassie Lang, sort of talk about what her character is up to in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. I want to hear from you guys what you sort of think about this. It's really interesting. Catherine Newton said she was in jail, and she sort of couldn't believe that they showed that in the Comic-Con footage. She said, I love that was the intro to Cassie. First of all, that experience was so fun for me. I couldn't even see anybody, but I could, she's talking about Comic-Con here, but I could feel everybody there. She says she's in jail. She's not up to no good. She's up to good. Like father, like daughter, I guess, right? They're going to introduce her having been jailed. Although we did see the Cassie Lang character out of jail at the beginning of Avengers Endgame, hanging out at home. So, like, what do we think she's been up to in the intervening couple of years where she's... Do you think she's like stolen a suit and is like fighting crime?
I wonder, maybe a misunderstanding. Maybe maybe her father violated some sort of house arrest and she took the fall for him. You know, against his will. You know, maybe he was like, Cassie, no! And she was like, she did like some sort of magic trick and he's like, that's my girl.
I love that.
That's my girl. I'm mad, but I'm proud.
You know, some teenage vigilante action. I think she's following her father's footsteps. She wants to be out there fighting bad guys and doing all the good. She's not up to no good. She's up to all the good.
She's just setting up her Disney Plus spin-off series in the future where she fights crime. For the events of Ant-Man.
Women of a certain stature.
Hey, that's great. Peyton Reed, the director of Ant-Man 3, of course, teased some cameos that we'll see in the quantum realm. He said, oh yes, there's great fun in store for everyone and some surprising faces that may show up in the quantum realm. So yes, we're very excited. That's what he said. We're going to talk about a possible team up for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania here in a second. But again, I just want to get your guys' thoughts. We were talking about this a little bit before the show. Tom, you were saying some stories, you know, the quantum realm is sort of a MCU specific thing, but there's a very similar sort of thing in the comics called the microverse. You have some folks you think might show up in that.
Yeah, I was thinking this could be one way of them setting up the young Avengers having their own movie, because they've already started setting up all the pieces, and in the comics we know that you know, Nathaniel Richards, right, is or not, is it Nathaniel Richards? One of the Richards descendants is the Kang Prime.
Yes.
Right? Yes, and so they're probably setting up something for Young Avengers. I don't think they're going to have the whole crew there, but they might be setting the pieces in stage so that once this movie ends, we can have full-blown Young Avengers with the Kang.
I need names.
Well, we're going to have the new Hawkeye, of course, Haley Steinfeld. We're going to have Yelena Belova, Black Widow.
So I'm sorry. Maybe I was confusing. He's teasing some faces that are going to show up in the quantum realm. And we saw that city sort of like as Janet was sort of blasting back
Chronopolis
out.
or whatever.
Potentially Chronopolis, yes.
Well, then I'm going to say that one face we're going to see, Dr. Doom. I think Doom is going to end up being the new Thanos in terms of them setting him up, especially with Secret Wars now announced. So I think we might be setting up little pieces of Dr. Doom showing up here and there. So, you know, in what capacity? Of course, we'll have to wait and see. But I think Dr. Doom might be, or Fantastic Four-ish related characters are what's going to be showing up in this new quantum realm.
Nice.
I would kind of love it if there was like, we know Bill Murray is going to be in this movie. I don't think he's going to be cast as Dr. Doom for a lot of obvious reasons. But I would sort of love it if they introduced a character that was not in the comics and he was just sort of like bopping around in different movies. You didn't really know what his motivations were. You didn't really know what his deal was. Pizza Papa. And then it is revealed that that person is playing Dr. Doom, just so that like
Pizza
you can
Papa.
spend more time in this character. And us as the audience is sort of like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Jimmy Woo.
I will say, speaking of Pizza Papa, we didn't run this as a story the other day, but Bruce Campbell did say he signed on for multiple MCU movies.
I love that.
Six-picture deals.
I don't know if it was a joke, so he didn't run the story, but I would love for Pizza Papa to return.
Please be
Yeah,
true.
more Pizza Papa.
Please be true. Please don't be a joke.
Yeah. Speaking of Bill Murray, we did get Comic-Con audiences got a look at his character. No crazy weird look, just kind of looked like Bill Murray, but he did say like, I think his one line of dialogue was Janet Van Dyne. So he seems to know who Janet is, and there's a lot of speculation that maybe he is someone from the quantum realm city, maybe Chronopolis, and maybe had a relationship with Janet. She's in there for a long time.
Okay. Yeah.
Or he was her Urkel, running around pining after her when they were both tiny and lost.
She was like, I'm married, and he's like, I don't see a ring.
I feel like Bill
Because
Murray.
it's huge up in the regular
I feel like Bill Murray is so good at playing that really casual but powerful character. So I'm sure maybe we can go off of, I don't know, a little bit of that typecast here.
Yeah.
You know, and then come up with some theories from there.
I would love he's just playing himself. Like
He's just Bill
Zombieland. He's like, I don't know how I got down here.
He's
It
just
is
there.
a mess.
He's always like that character that doesn't really care too much, you know, but he's also really powerful. So I could see him.
I love that.
playing
What
that
if, what
role.
if he's got a new power? It's like a Groundhog Day power. And
Oh,
this is
God.
tied to the Groundhog Day verse.
You're right.
He
And
just
he's
loops
repeating
everybody?
time, and
At
he's
the
just
end.
there and has been here since Groundhog Day.
At the end,
love
Paul
that.
Rudd
That would be
says,
great.
so Groundhog Day is a load of bullshit or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
And rat.
He's like, no, it's real. It's super real. I'm more powerful than Kang.
Look, I can play the piano.
I wonder, in the case of Bill Murray, if he's going to be. Is there any other iterations of Ant-Man besides Hank Pym and Scott Lang in the comics?
so
Could he be another Ant-Man?
Well, Lawrence Fishburne's character, Goliath, was already sort of teased. I don't know the sort of Ant-Man verse as well as some other people at this table, but I do know that was an option. I'm sure they could also say, like, yeah, we gave another suit.
Maybe he was like Hank Pym's old business partner or something.
Yeah.
He was the money man. Hank was the science guy. But they made it work. Until they both fell for the same woman.
So
Classic tale.
we've talked about him being a good character. We know that like MODOK is going to be in this film. Obviously, Kang. Do we think like he could be on the other side? Do you think he could be a villain in this movie?
What if he turns into MODOK?
I would kill for Bill Murray.
You know
to be
what?
MODOK.
Kind of piggybacking on what you said. What if he was he's just like old Loki? He's old Doom. Who's been around forever. Yeah, now he's kind of a jaded Bill Murray, kind of old Doom, who you maybe underestimate, but really he's just dangerous.
Supervillain.
Yeah.
Cranky old supervillain.
I love that.
I could see that, like, where he seems harmless for the whole movie, and then all of a sudden at the end it's like a more.
Exactly. He casts as young Bill Murray in future Doctor Doom projects. That's a hard.
Oh, you know who he cast? Nate from Euphoria.
Honestly, it wouldn't be my first pick for Doom, but that guy is such a villain.
But he just plays Nate. His character's name is Nate from Euphoria.
We see like a lot of his butt for some reason.
You can't blackmail me into dating you.
Speaking of Kang the Conqueror, Kevin Feige said there was no one he would want to shoulder phases 4, 5, and 6 more than Kang the Conqueror.
Wow.
If you read between the lines of that statement, which of course we will do, we've got Kang in phase 4 with Loki, He Who Remains, Kang in phase 5 with Quantumania, and we assume Loki season 2, Kang in phase 6 with at least Kang Dynasty. Can we pull up that phase 5 graphic, Dashiell? I don't know if we still have it. Oh,
Wow, Dashiell.
Wow. Quick draw by
Quick.
Bob back there.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of projects on here. He can only be in so many of them.
Right.
Is there anything on that list that you feel, okay, we could get more Kang in that?
The Marvels.
The Marvel.
Kang.
Yeah.
Definitely Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Okay, can we get into that a little bit?
Yeah, I think, similarly to Guardians of the Galaxy, the Marvels have existing characters that we know, right? So having Kang come in and battling against the Marvels, like, we don't have to set it up. Like, it could just be a variant of Kang, not He Who Remains, who is now dead, but an evil Kang, could be facilitating whoever the Marvels are going to be fighting against, could be hiding out as whoever the Marvels are fighting against. Because one of the things about Kang in the comics is that it's often an identity that is revealed to be Kang after impersonating something, or literally not knowing that they're Kang. You know?
Right.
So,
That's interesting. Yeah, we don't really know who the villain is in the Marvels. We sort of assume that it's going to be like a Kree Skrull war type situation. But correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that they've sort of announced a villain in that.
Not even other casting, huh? Other than the main three.
Right.
The heroes.
well, there's the rumor that Rogue is going to be in it, right?
Oh,
that was
that
that was an early rumor. Or I'm sorry, that was an early rumor for Captain Marvel 2, which is not announced. It's technically the Marvel.
That's the
I think
Marvels,
this
yeah.
is this.
Yeah, so that was an early rumor for that. I don't know. That might have been.
Were you up for that role?
Dispelled.
For Rogue? Yeah. Sadly, I did not read for Rogue, but I'd be happy to read for any other roles.
There you go.
Sarah Haley Finn is watching, which I'm sure she does. I'm sure she does
100%.
nothing but watch this show.
I'm rooting for you, man. You can knock it out of the park.
You can do
We'll
it.
make a couple
They should
fun-
fire whoever they have as Rogue.
Yeah.
It should be.
No problem on me. I'm up for Gambit.
Yeah. Oh, man, Eric, if we could play the new It couple in Marvel. Could you imagine Hall H booing the shit out of me? No! That's not my role!
Hashtag not my Rogue.
I want to thank Corey Candrell for donating $50. He
Amazing.
works
Look at
in
that.
the film industry, never gets to watch live.
Hey.
Welcome. Thank you for watching us
there you
live
go.
from one industry bro to another. I don't know.
We keep you here for 12 hours every day just
That's-
out of principle.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I can't work.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd be a big star.
I'm so sorry we do that to you. I do want to get back to what Tom and I were talking about earlier, which is, okay, Kevin Feige, after Comic-Con, was just sort of talking about their upcoming slate, and he said, we don't really feel like these Avengers movies need to cap the ends of phases anymore. We're capping them at the end of sagas. So, we had the sort of Infinity Saga with phases 1, 2, and 3. We're now in the multiverse saga they've announced with phases 4, 5, and 6, and those will end with 2 Avengers movies. He said, we didn't feel like phase 4 needed to end with an Avengers movie like they used to. But he did say, we're still getting team-up films like the Avengers, like Multiverse of Madness, like what we will see in Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania.
Right.
Obviously Doctor Strange 2 was not a huge team-up film a la Captain America Civil War or any of the Avengers films, but we did get, we did get Wanda Maximoff, we did get a bunch of people on the Illuminati, if you want to consider that sort of a team. We obviously got America Chavez.
That team had a lot of cuts.
It did.
Yeah.
They're going to have to hold tryouts for that team.
So that sort of got us here at New Rockstars speculating, okay, we know that we've got Kang, we know that we've got Scott, Cassie, and Hope. Who the hell else is going to be in this team-up film? Tom, I want to come back to you since we were just talking about it. You think it's going to be a setup for the Young Avengers. We don't have any Young Avengers, anything on the upcoming Marvel slates.
Right.
Do you think that they'll just sort of backdoor introduce all these guys?
I think they might, and we've also known that they're saving, Marvel and Kevin Feige are saving things for D23 coming up to announce.
Yes.
And there's just too many players on the board for the Young Avengers now, between Wiccan and, Wanda's kids and, and the new Hawkeye, America Chavez, and all these new young
Ironheart,
Avengers.
Riri Williams.
Ironheart's
Yeah.
about to come out.
They're
They've
setting
got
up a lot.
too many people
Yeah.
that need to that need to be coming together to fight something. And in the comics, they fight Kang, so this would be a perfect opportunity, I think, in Ant-Man 3 to have them at least introduce themselves and join forces to continue the battle or take it on to their own movie, which is probably going to be announced maybe at D23.
I love your
can see that.
optimism. I love that you think a Young
I feel like
Avengers movie is
D23
coming.
is a great spot to announce Young Avengers, though. I definitely could see that just being okay, we're setting up for our, lack of better terms, a younger audience.
Sure.
And, it's that's perfect for D23. So.
And again, the roster's so deep already. I feel like with these kids, how much longer, how many more people are they going to introduce to be on it? Will it even be Young Avengers? Because now that She-Hulk is going to be taking over from Bruce Banner, as we assume, because Mark Ruffalo's one of the OG Avengers. Maybe it'll just be another kind of Avengers team. I don't know, as opposed to Young Avengers.
Yeah.
She-Hulk's an adult, as opposed to the teens.
Yeah. We got that post-credit scene for Ms. Marvel. We don't know where she went. Now, it's sort of implied that she swapped places with Captain Marvel. I don't think Captain Marvel was hanging out in the quantum realm, but there's every possibility that for one reason or another, these characters could have slipped into.
Maybe the bangle
realm.
Is part of that. What the newer, we don't even know what any of that is. That's a good point. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let's run through the Young Avengers lineup, and you tell me just off the cuff. Any of you can join in, yes or no, for any of these people. Let's start with Ms. Marvel. Will Ms. Marvel be in Quantumania? Yes or no?
I say no.
Yeah, I say no.
Yeah, I was thinking no.
Okay, Riri Williams, Ironheart, introduced in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever.
I'm gonna say yes, just because of my theory.
I'll go with yes.
Okay, I like that. I'm
gonna say no.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Yelena Belova,
New Black
Widow type.
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe, but leaning towards yes.
I like that.
I'm gonna say no, maybe because she's been in a lot of stuff from the Hawkeye show to, so maybe they're gonna
That's
make
why
room
I
for
want to
other
say
people.
yes.
Yeah.
They're putting her everywhere.
Yeah.
People love Pew.
They do love Pew.
Similarly, Kate Bishop, new Hawkeye.
I'm gonna say yes.
Yes.
No.
We're on the fence.
I'm gonna say no.
This
Yeah,
group doesn't like your theory, Tom.
No.
Wait, just rope theory or
I
Breakroom?
said yes for most of them. I said yes for everyone but Ms. Marvel.
Who have I forgotten?
How about the
of
kids?
this
Wanda's
list?
kids.
Oh, what
Wanda's
about
Sasher.
Elijah?
She's gonna be.
Elijah Bradley.
Yes. Elijah Bradley.
Oh, Elijah Bradley. That's an
Oh,
interesting
yeah.
Young Cap.
take.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think yes.
Okay.
My theory, guys. So
I
yep.
love it.
I'm in because I
Yes.
thought of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go.
Alright,
There you go.
Yeah,
I
that
love
makes
it.
sense.
I think the Young Avengers group is going to be really interesting. I personally don't know if that's who we're going to see in Quantumania. I think we might go with the more science-y people in the MCU. We were talking before the show, maybe we could get a Bruce Banner. Maybe that's how we get a Riri Williams, although she's more sort of like on the engineering side of things.
Oh, one thing fun I just thought of is just like how we had all the different Kang variants coming out. What if we see the Council of Reeds, which is in the comics, all the different Reed Richards, and
That would
then
be
they
great.
could cast other A-listers, because John Krasinski and Kevin Feige have kind of just said, this was a fan servicey thing.
Yeah.
The Multiverse of Madness doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be the Reed in the MCU.
Right.
Maybe he could come back for that again, because it's like another one-off, and they could have other A-listers be Reed Richards
would
of
be-
different.
Oh my god.
And we'll have,
It would be
that's how we'll have the
amazing.
Council of Reeds and that.
If Krasinski only played variants of Reed, but then in the MCU, in our main timeline, there's or the 616.
total different one?
This is a completely different guy.
Yeah.
exactly.
But it's Rainn Wilson.
All right, that would be what that would
It's
be
just
what we
slowly
deserve.
every
Yeah.
office character or office actor.
Ed Helms gets a crack at it.
Yeah.
It'll be Kevin.
Steve Carell is doomed. All right, well, we're halfway to Eric Voss appearing at Tomicon
Look at that.
virtually. And then we're quite a ways away from the old Eric phone call, which I assure you will be inconveniencing him. So if you would like us to bug Eric, God knows give generously, because nothing would please me more than to call his ass in the middle of a work day.
Yeah. How much do you guys love Eric Voss? Prove it right now. If
Yeah,
you don't,
prove
This
it.
is your chance.
won't.
I will say John Atten said instead of Young Avengers, it could be West Coast Avengers, right? They're in San Francisco. That makes a ton of sense. I saw someone say Amadeus Cho, which would be interesting.
yeah.
We did think that I can't remember. Moving on. RJ Brown says Kate Bishop. Triple Seven
H?
says TVA, Loki, Sylvie, and Doom. So yeah, I put Loki in the thumbnail for this video because I think with the Kane connection, them being able to go almost anywhere,
Yes.
you could totally get a Sylvie or a Loki.
Only if they bring
Yeah.
John
Anyone.
Mobius with them.
You could get Mobius in there.
It's the West Coast, a lot of jet skis.
Can we bring back
That's
the
right.
Loki
Some
crew, like a Loki team?
I would
That was
love
fun.
like a little scene, just a scene from
little gang?
like they did in Book of Boba Fett. Where they were
Yeah,
like, we're just
yeah.
gonna do a Mandalorian episode.
Yeah.
You just have like a
Right in the
little tiny
middle.
mini Loki episode.
40 minutes of
Yeah.
Quantumania is a Loki. What if the Avengers team is just a bunch of Loki variants?
Oh,
They're like-
my
Avengers
God.
six.
And they come
Yeah.
full circle from Avengers 1 where Loki is the villain.
You've got to figure
Yeah.
that's like a group that they're gonna do for Secret Wars, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure.
Gotta be.
Yeah. Terrific. I think, chat, I want to continue to hear from you guys. Maybe we'll circle back to these predictions at the end of the show.
All right. Well, we want to thank our sponsors today. Our sponsor specifically, BetterHelp, for sponsoring the Break Room this week. Multiple folks on the NR staff have used BetterHelp in the past, and I am currently using it. I have an appointment scheduled for August 1st. Hack into my computer and listen into what's going on in this old nightmare. We are big fans of taking care of your mental well-being. God knows the world is a stressful place. Do not be afraid to ask for help. A few folks at the channel have even helped set up BetterHelp accounts for their family members that had never tried online therapy before and needed a little encouragement. It's a really great way to help somebody you love invest in themselves. That is for sure, folks. Sorry, Tommy. No problem. BetterHelp Online Therapy will assess your needs and can match you with your own licensed professional therapist in less than 48 hours. I am telling you personally, this is how it went down for me. I signed up. I filled out some information. They said, that's enough. You don't need to tell us your blood type. I said, what if I'm in an accident and I need a blood transfusion? They said, then you use a real doctor, not a therapist. And then they set me up with a therapist. It took like, I'd say all in 19 hours. It took me 5 minutes to set up my account. They placed me with a therapist. I'm very excited about it. You can check out all the testimonials they have on their website of real users sharing their experience with BetterHelp therapists. And this is the really cool part. They have a special offer for our breakers, our roomies, you trash bags. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/breakroom. It's 10% off your first month of online therapy at betterhelp.com/breakroom. Use that breakroom code, guys. It helps us. It helps you get that 10% off, and, you know, maybe BetterHelp will sponsor us again. Thank you very much. Now, I know we usually do mandatory fun in this place, but I've decided today we're going to go to work.
Not the week of Comic-Con. Tomicon.
Yeah, on the week of Tomicon, it's still mandatory fun. Hit the graphic.
Ooh, okay.
What a curveball.
But today, mandatory fun is also mandatory investigations.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun.
We got our first look at Secret Invasion at Comic-Con, and among a few of the highlights, Don Cheadle is returning as Rhodey Rhodes, a.k.a. War Machine.
Woo.
We also got a first look at Emilia Clarke's character, and while we don't know who she's portraying, the character is certainly involved in a lot of action, emptying clips, diving around, running for her life. So,
I love this, by the way. We got a photo of Emilia Clarke walking around, and I was like, oh, cool, she's not going to be a Skrull. And then I was like, what? No, that's not how Skrulls work. They can be disguised as anything.
That's right.
Anyone and
Oh,
everything.
yeah, good. She's not a Skrull. Wait a second.
Wait.
Am I a Skrull?
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Yeah,
They
there's
want
the
you.
Clark graphic.
Wow.
Skrull confirmed.
Looks like a scroll
yeah.
to me.
Hit the graphic in honor of Emilia Clarke. Yeah.
Ooh, look at it go.
All right. So, everybody put on your tinfoil hats. It's time to go CIA mode. Let's figure out who's in this secret invasion. Who will be the Skrulls? Each of you, I've asked to prepare a case file and present to me and then put up on our big board who you think is going to be a Skrull. Let's go left to right. Eric, who you got for us?
All right. I love being first. Okay, so my first suspect of being a Skrull in the MCU in the upcoming titles is one Agent Everett Ross.
Whoa!
Look at his face.
Oh.
Agent Everett
Look
K.
at
Ross.
that face. Look at it.
I think, where should I put this? Here or there? Or anywhere? Okay.
Anywhere you want.
All
Pin him to
right.
the board. We're going to connect it all with red string.
Boom. Okay, so I think he's a Skrull because we haven't seen him in a while. I don't think since Black Panther.
Yes.
The original. I got to do this obligatory every time we say Black Panther. And the Skrull, to my knowledge, can't mimic powers.
That's true, yeah.
They usually impersonate humans or non-superpowered people, and also who are in places that can affect stability of systems. So agents, government officials, DODC people, CIA people, all types of people like that. So I think Everett Ross, Agent Everett Ross, is going to be a Skrull in the upcoming titles.
Wow.
The other person I'm suspecting of being a Skrull in the MCU in upcoming titles is one, while I vamp and try to get his picture out of the file, Jimmy Woo!
Oh!
Jimmy Woo!
Not Jimmy Woo!
Yes, Jimmy Woo! For the same reasons, I think for stability purposes, the Skrull are impersonating Jimmy Woo, and since he was last in Ant-Man 2, I think he might show up, or Skrull Jimmy Woo might show up in Quantumania coming up.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if he can do the card tricks, sleight of hand,
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, he was last in WandaVision. Last time we saw him was WandaVision.
The point is still valid.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's why I think these two are prime suspects of being Skrull.
Wow.
man.
Chills.
Asian Eric
Amazing.
spoken.
Chills.
Thank you for your presentation, Eric.
Oh, well, thank you.
I don't think this is 616 canon, but Jimmy Woo is also going to be in the upcoming Marvel Zombies series, and in the Marvel Zombies series, there's a Skrull biker gang. So maybe
Maybe that's where they get them.
Yeah, that's where they
Maybe that's where they get them.
Yeah.
Okay, Tom, what do you got for us?
All right, fellow agents. I put together a very thorough portfolio full of 2 photos. The first person I suspect to be a Skrull is Sharon Carter.
Whoa, Sharon Carter, the party starter?
Sharon Carter, the party starter,
Wow.
and the power broker.
Wow, that's what I meant, the power broker.
I was never on board with her being the power broker. I thought that there was something else going on there. She's either working for someone else or I just couldn't believe that she broke bad that fast. So I gotta think that she's a Skrull. There's something else is going on, and I think her at that end credit scene of Falcon and the Winter Soldier was maybe her trying to collect weapons or intel for the Skrull invasion.
Okay.
So that's why I'm going with Sharon Carter. My next suspect is, again, similar to Eric, someone with major influence who can help behind the scenes make things happen. Ayo.
Whoa!
One of the head Dora Milaje of Black Panther.
Yeah.
She is my
picture, by the
suspect
way.
because, like Eric was saying, Skrulls so far haven't been able to do powers yet. But she is a very high-level ranking Dora Milaje with a lot of influence and a lot of ability to help take down the most powerful country in the world, Wakanda. And if the Skrulls were to even have a chance to invade, they would need someone on the inside in Wakanda. So my other guess, Ayo, the Black Panther.
Okay.
I like it. I like these theories.
Very
That's my
nice.
case.
Yeah.
Angelica, who you got for
Okay.
us?
All right. It's my turn. All right, agents. Are we ready?
We are
ready.
ready.
We're
Step
ready.
forward, Kimasabi.
I just have to. There we
There
go.
you go.
Your giant chair, yeah.
Yeah, my chair is boosted a little bit. Okay, so I'm thinking
Yeah.
that for our first Skrull here is none other than Hawkeye.
Whoa!
Avenger!
We got an Avenger on the board,
Yeah, we
folks.
got an Avenger in here.
We got an Avenger.
So this Skrull, obviously because they can't copy powers, is very good with precision, with, you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. You
Yeah.
just need like a marksman scroll.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They got the
Marksperson
skills and they were able to perpetrate it when he went Ronin, I'm thinking, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah, like
so they
that's.
framed
Oh,
him.
you think that's when they kidnapped him and turned him to a Skrull?
Yeah,
and
so-
then he
He
went
wasn't
on a
always a
killing
Skrull.
spree.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like that. I
so
like
that was like the pivot here.
Ah, okay,
So-
okay.
All right.
That's
one.
what I'm thinking
Skrull
happened
Hawkeye.
here.
Yep.
Scroll.
Main event.
Scroll guy. Scroll guy.
Scroll
Hawkeye.
eye?
Scroll eye.
Scroll eye.
Scroll?
Hawkeye for the scroll guy.
Oh,
I like that one.
Does have a
Wait
great
a
haircut.
second. Save the announcements for Tomicon. Oh my God.
So, drum roll for my second suspect. I think it's Happy Hogan.
Oh
Yes.
Please, no happy face.
He's not so happy anymore. Happy Hogan is very, very, very sad and depressed.
That's right.
And he doesn't have the will to go on anymore. And that was when a Skrull came in, knocked him over the head, and took over. And this is, you know, obviously
That's it.
Happy's got a lot of influence here. And so,
Happy Hogan.
Yeah.
From
yeah,
the fir-
Scrappy Hogan?
Yeah.
Scrappy Hogan.
Skrappy
Scrullpy Hogan?
Scrullpy
Scrullpy Hogan.
Scrullpin.
I need to hear more of these Skrull versions of our suspects.
Scrocka.
Happy Scrollgan.
Yeah, happy Skrullgan. I like that one.
does-
All right.
Scrayo.
He does still have the Stark like 3D printer
Yeah.
in his
He
apartment.
does.
right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
dangerous.
And he's been there
Fabricator
since day
or whatever.
one.
Dangerous
Yeah.
bit of
Iron Man
tech.
1.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dangerous bit of
Dangerous
tech for him to
business.
have.
Oh,
Since Aunt
man.
Bay is gone, he's got
right.
no
Yeah,
will
yeah,
to
that's
live.
it.
Tony's got his two loves are dead.
Yeah.
Aunt May and Tony.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
thinking.
I like it, Agent
Very
Trae.
good,
I
very
like
good.
it.
Great presentation.
Now,
Thank you.
I'll go next. And I've got some, I'm going to blow the door open on this
Oh.
investigation.
Okay.
I'll give you some legal stingers.
My first, My first suspect is a twofer. It's the bickering agents from the DODC.
Oh,
Cleary and stern-faced woman. Whose name escapes me. I want to say, was it like Alyssa? It was something like Alyssa.
I don't know.
It was like a cute little girl's name.
It's just stern face now, I think.
Skrull.
Canon now.
Anyway,
Alyssa.
does it strike anyone else funny that their relationship seemed to be a little more than coworkers, but it definitely wasn't one of like, I would say, a sexual tension. It was like we're doing something else, and we're doing this job. Stop subverting me. And then Cleary, who seems like maybe he's more of a Talos-style Skrull, was like, hey, come on, let's be good to the humans and like figure this out. And Alyssa was like, nah, let's kill him. So I think both of them are Skrulls.
Okay. The Skrull, Benson, and Stabler of the MCU.
Oh, yeah.
Now, here's where it gets nutty.
What?
Because I present to you an answer to the question, where have all the X-Men been and why do they ignore all of the Avengers fights? Because they're all Skrulls! Oh, no! Every X-Man is a Skrull!
If that's true, I can't.
All of the X-Men are laying in hypersleep. Skrull technology, hypersleep in the basement. Someone said under the basketball court, buried in the empty pool of the X-Men X-Mansion for gifted children.
Wow.
And then the Skrulls are just living in that mansion, throwing parties, skateboarding. I don't care. All the X-Men are Skrulls. Call me when it happens.
No.
John, the floor is yours.
No.
Wait, have they been
Please.
Skrulls all this time?
Well, they were originally the X-Men, then as soon as they got together, they were about to, they had a press conference lined up, and then Skrull invasion.
Then Skrull invasion were like, we're gonna stay home and party.
Glad you
right.
didn't ruin my childhood, so.
Jeez.
If they were
No,
Skrulls the whole time,
they were
I'd cry.
X-Men then.
I got a Skrull for you.
All right, Agent John going to war here.
Agent John's getting sassy.
Well, where is this? We've seen him in one shot since Avengers Endgame ended. One person, one shot. Where's he been the whole time? What's he been up to? His name is War Machine.
Whoa!
He's gonna be a Skrull. We need someone with a little bit of muscle.
Oh, man.
Some firepower.
Exactly.
To break character for 2 seconds, I do think that there are Skrulls in the comics that can have powers. They're like
The Super Skrulls,
Yeah.
right?
But who
We're
knows
just
if they're
saying
gonna be
so
in the show.
far in the MCU.
Yes,
the
we have
farther
not seen that.
we
That'll
haven't
probably be
seen
like the
that.
end of
Rogue
Secret
with it.
Invasion is one of the Skrulls will like shoot a laser out of their eyes or something.
We'll have
Yeah.
all the Fantastic Four
Yeah.
powers. Yeah, exactly.
We also know
Yeah?
What?
no team is complete without a leader.
Oh, give it to me.
Okay, we got.
Okay.
And who better to lead the Skrulls than Valentina Allegra de Fontaine herself?
Oh my God!
She gotta be
What is she hiding?
What is she hiding?
something.
She's hiding her true identity.
Oh my gosh.
She's hiding
right.
green
That's
face and
crazy.
wrinkles.
Yup.
I gotta be honest, guys. That's a lot of Skrull suspects. Now, we all know I'm definitely correct. So,
Yes,
we're gonna have a poll in the chat, and we're gonna decide between everyone else's to see who might be correct. I just want to give a little bit of an update. We are $85 away from Eric appearing at Tomicon, and we are
so close.
$285 away from us calling Eric today. So that's on you guys, okay?
Eric was so cute. He really wanted to contribute to Tomicon. If we don't break the redemption.
It'll be very sad. I will say this. I will have made him record something for no reason that will simply become something that
It'll
goes on
just
our
sit
work
there.
Slack that we all get to enjoy. And maybe we'll tell him we aired it, you know?
just sit
But
there.
you
He'll never
guys,
know.
You're
yeah.
right. You're right. He does watch the show, which is,
Oh, that's sweet.
So that's why he's sitting there on the other line.
He's probably watching this like, what happened to me? I used to have a lot of juice at this company. Anyway, good job, agents.
Yeah, also shout out to John's amazing impression
Yeah.
of that one fish that screams chocolate.
Chocolate!
Yes, thank you. SpongeBob is the only impressions that I can. Okay.
Oh,
I did
brother,
say-
this guy stinks.
I did see some really ridiculous Skrull thoughts. Some folks from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. people were posting in the comments, which would be very funny.
If that's how they bring them all back.
They were like,
all them Skrulls.
It was canon, but they were all Skrulls.
Oh my God.
The poll ended early. Oh no, come back.
The poll broke.
I want to know from you guys. So we had nice Skrulls in Captain Marvel. It's a change of pace. We're getting Secret Invasion. We think. I mean, I guess we have to have now like bad guy Skrulls in this show. What do you think the deal there will be? Are the Kree going to be redeemed? Or is everyone evil? Do we hate everyone?
I think there'll be a faction of evil Skrull that infiltrate the MCU, and they're all led on a mad conquest for power. But their general, their 5-star general, will be none other than someone we've seen already in the MCU.
This is a new.
This is where we're going. They're going to be led by Howard the Duck.
Whoa!
His quest for power knows no bounds, and he'll command an army of Skrull to help infiltrate and destabilize
it.
it.
You argue Howard the Duck is probably dead if he was in the collectors.
He's fine.
No, he came out in the portals in Endgame. So
you're right.
Yeah.
So he survived.
Good for him.
So
he's on Earth.
Unless he died in the Endgame battle.
The Duck is
somewhere in upstate New York.
Wait,
did that really happen?
He said it's
he really came out of a portal, 100%.
Oh my God.
You can freeze frame and see him come out with his big ass gun.
No, he did.
Okay,
he did.
The poll is incredibly split. If people don't
continue,
if people don't start voting for me, I will leave. Angelica Trae is starting to look like an early favorite with 27. Tom pulled ahead. Okay,
wow, this is like a haircut poll.
We're gonna Jasmine Victor though says Comic-Con for the win.
Ensuring Eric Voss's involvement.
He's gonna be a part of Comic-Con on Friday.
Jasmine, you're a hero. We don't deserve you, Jasmine, but we're glad you're here.
You're too good.
Never have I seen a poll this close for a mandatory fun.
This is crazy.
I do think if we give let's do one thing while we wait for this poll to end. One super-powered individual that a Super Skrull could be taking over. We're not going to include the X-Men because you've already sort of given all of those people. One superhero from you guys.
Yes.
Either super soldier serum, weird radiation, bit by a spider, any of those things. Can I get a take from anyone? Any of these people good?
It would be nuts to see because I don't know if the Skrulls have ever been able to do this, because when they do mimic powers, I don't know if it's ever been magical. What if we had a Doctor Strange kind of Skrull who could tap into all of the mysticism and stuff? It wasn't Nana. It wasn't Nana who had the powers. Yeah, exactly. It was Skrull powers. But yeah, we could see a Skrull with magic. That would be nuts.
Okay. It was a tie.
Oh my gosh!
What? Goddamn tie.
Wow.
Between. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, Trae, Angelica, and Tom, you tied. And your prize is you both get VIP invites to Comic-Con. You're both invited to appear. Eric, because you came in last place, you have to appear at Comic-Con. You have no choice.
Give us one handshake with the other.
That's right.
I've been asking Tommy all day.
Yeah, and you're in.
Finally, I just had to win a poll.
He was really threatening.
Yeah,
he
was.
Pick good
He was
Skrulls.
like,
And speaking of who else is going to be at Comic-Con, we officially are well over the $300 mark. I don't know what our adjusted total is now, but a couple people have given really generously in the last few moments, and we definitely need to thank them at a certain point. But Eric will be at Comic-Con.
Eric Voss.
And we're not. Eric Voss will be at Comic-Con virtually. And we will certainly, we're on our way to calling him. We've got 10 minutes left. If you want us to spend the remainder of this show calling Eric, now is the time.
I'll just talk to him about his wedding planning.
Absolutely.
We'll get into the nitty-gritty. We also wanted to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. MT has a video coming out on the channel this week, sort of breaking down all of the footage that was shown at Comic-Con and getting into the specifics of the High Evolutionary, of Adam Warlock, of the final Guardians of the Galaxy movie.
Wow.
But I wanted to run through some of the Comic-Con news that we got this weekend just to refresh everyone's memories. Pom Klementif, the actress who plays Mantis in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, gave a little bit of background on what her character is going to be doing in this movie. She says, that Mantis has learned a lot more about herself. She's on a journey of self-discovery, and she feels more self-confident and more in her own power. And this is my favorite part of this quote. She said, "You're going to see more of that," and she's going to be like, "Grr, more action, dude." Which
is such a German thing to say.
Yeah. She'll be like this too. Grr, more action.
That's like a very German person, modern German person thing to say. Much action, dude.
I do love that. Like, this is probably the final movie that we're going to get with all of these characters. So we're going to see their final versions. Karen Gillan has talked about how Nebula is going to be more herself now that Thanos isn't looming over her shoulders. It's going to be a really interesting movie. James Gunn has gone on record saying it's his most emotional movie yet, which is like, how do you sort of outdo? Every time I watch the opening and closing of the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, where he like won't touch his mom's hand as she's dying, I like fully melt into a puddle.
Does he mean more than Slither? Because no movie makes me cry harder than Slither.
Our favorite Scooby-Doo live-action film.
Monsters, whatever, Monsters Incorporated.
Scooby-Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed.
Monsters Unleashed,
of course. How could we forget? He also said that he's really not thinking about the future of any future Guardians lineup. I think we've all sort of.
Ready for this.
I know, it's really sad. We've all sort of accepted that this is probably his final outing with his group of Guardians.
I haven't accepted it, no. I actually haven't.
Angelica's going to direct
emotionally,
the next Guardians.
Emotionally, I haven't accepted it. But
I think like by the end of that movie, we're all going to be in a puddle of tears.
Yeah, I'm going through the stages of grief already. I'm prepping, and then the final one's accepted.
Yeah, usually I have to like sweep up popcorn and trash on movie theater floors, but this time they're just going to come straight in with mops.
I thought you were saying you do, and I was like, I didn't realize you worked at that.
I work at every major AMC.
He does a citizens cleanup.
Of the Western Seaboard.
He brings his own cleaning gear, and he goes, you know what? I don't work here, but I feel
for the next show.
Listen, do you guys appreciate the movies or not?
Yes. And we thank you.
Because of you, Eric. Thank you.
He adds the sticky stuff to the floor for the next guest.
It's fresh honey. Let them know secret.
Exactly. We also got a first look at Chuck Woody-Awuji's character, the High Evolutionary, who's going to be sort of the other villain, the main villain in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Here's some things that I found interesting, right? He's got this crazy prosthetic where it's like stretching his skin face into a weird, I don't know what that is, like a weird mechanical implement or whatever. Now, the High Evolutionary in the comics is sort of like all machine. I guess like this is, I wonder if this is playing off of sort of the Nebula character-esque, where like, you know, he does a lot of experiments on animals in particular. I wonder if he's done some experiments on himself and sort of
modification.
Either experimenting on animals to sort of like get to a place where he can do them to himself. He's like, oh, cool, animal testing worked. I'm gonna do this shit to myself. Or if he's just a freaking weirdo.
You know,
like,
I just had a really demented thought.
Let's hear it.
Can I share it?
I do think like
those are my favorite.
If we're gonna have a demented thing in a movie, it's gonna be a James Gunn movie.
So you know how Taika said that he left the goats with the Guardians as a way to kind of be like, figure this out, James Gunn. Nothing would be more James Gunn than Rocket and Groot spit-firing goats at the beginning of the movie, and they're like feeding an entire village full of goat, like so it's like they're giving the village goat meat for years.
Now it's quiet.
But it also eliminates the need for those goats to come back. That to me would be James Gunn's. That would be a very James Gunn's like.
Are they feeding a village of Jamaicans? Like, why are they eating these goats? And is the ghost?
Well, because they're hungry. Goats are good. It's Spectre Knight. I had the same idea. He looks like a Borg from Star Trek: The Next Generation.
He does look like he is Borg. That's such a weird quote. Can we talk about that? That quote came out before Thor: Love and Thunder came out. And Chris Pratt is the one who said it, but the goats don't end up with the Guardians.
I was just gonna say, in the movie,
it's really I don't understand why he said that, and we kind of keep going back to it because Chris Pratt said it, which makes me think.
Maybe there was another edit. Maybe they find them and they're like they slice their throats.
other goats.
Am I the only one that liked the goats?
I love the goats. I just
Okay.
think
I could have done without.
Really? I don't know
I like them. I could have done with
My
like 2
humor
less
was-
screams.
we gotta thank some of
I'm in
our
the middle.
we gotta thank some of the
Really?
super
I like
generous.
that.
They've been. Do you mind scrolling down on who did it because I can't read because it's behind the cams.
You want me to go here?
Film Juice gave generously and said if a good friend of Film Juice. Now I can't read. I'm sorry, I can't read. If all the movie verses are now part of the MCU, is Xavier's death an absolute point? He did die 3 times.
Absolute points. Gosh, Film Juice, why you gotta ask about absolute points? Right? Like, wasn't God, what's Rachel McAdams' character?
Christine.
Wasn't Christine Palmer's death an absolute point? But then not. She's still alive.
Well, and then she's alive in the 838, whatever.
She's alive in 838.
Yeah.
She's alive in 616. She got married.
That's right. What am I talking about?
I love these MCU area codes.
I was thinking, matter of fact, 305. Matter of fact, 2.3.
Special cameo.
Christine McCann. I got Rachel's in different area codes. Area codes. I got scrolls. Every Ludacris song can be incorporated with scrolls in it.
100%.
Because as we all know from this show, use a scroll. Use a scroll. Use a scroll. I said that use a scroll.
Frey Girl says, tell John that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 could take place during the same time as Thor Love and Thunder. They're just going to clip out that scene in the beginning and play it as the beginning of Guardians of the Galaxy 3 to be like, you wanted more guts. You wanted
Thank you to
more
Zaydog
guts.
for both of your super chats. Thank you to Zeus13, who says, bring all the Erics to Comic-Con. I'll invite every Eric I know. My 2 favorites are already going to be here, Owusu and Voss.
We are variants of each other, so that makes sense.
That's
An
right.
interesting question. It's Nina Baby says, I love the channel. Thank you for your awesome content. Thank you so much. When do you think we'll see White Vision again? What has he been up to? We sort of talked about this for Quantumania. Is that what we were talking about this for?
We were talking about it earlier, because Viz had his theories about the multiverse.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And so maybe he's
question.
looking for Kangs or something like that.
I just figured he was off having an existential crisis.
You'd think he's just finding other versions of
Yeah,
himself and just
yeah.
staring at them until they break.
Pretty much.
What is
100%.
White Vision if not Paul Bettany's acting job Perseverance? We need him back. He's got to come back.
Let's see. Some people had guesses for who Skrulls could be. Miguel Ledger says Throg, Alligator, Loki, Red Wing, Lockjaw, and the rest of the pet Avengers. Oh, sorry, this wasn't for Skrulls. This was for people who will defeat Kang, which I find very funny. Alligator, Loki, Skrull confirmed.
Yeah.
Skrull, wouldn't you choose the alligator?
Yeah.
Oh, totally.
Pretty close.
Moon Knight, so Nemo fish. Yeah, it could be.
His name was, Gus, right?
Gus. You're right. Yes,
Gus.
fish.
Yeah.
Mick Greenwood never missed an episode, but this is the first time I get to watch live. Wow, another person said that. And the earthquake under the ocean was Tiamat kicking in the womb. We talked about that. We like that. Mick, I also saw your very good Scott Hall tribute in the chat, which I enjoyed. Say goodnight to the bad guy. Who else? We got Danny Rasici says, I think the Young Avengers characters will all be in the main Avengers movie, but they will be in their own subplot. Okay. We're talking B plots, C storylines.
How does that work? It's just like the kids' table.
Meanwhile,
Sides
Pretty much, yeah.
They have like a little tiny cute little building.
Meanwhile.
It's like MODOK gets the kids and Kang gets the adults.
Yeah.
Rhodey's
like Baby Kang.
we gotta stop Kang, but it is Thanksgiving. Cut to a montage of them all making dinner, wiping flour on each other's noses, and then they all sit down. You pan down. Tiny little kids table.
Oh, cute.
the
You gotta
kids'
invite
table.
Kang. It's the holiday. We'll put our differences aside.
Bill Murray's there.
But chaos ensues.
Who knows? Maybe there's more chill kings.
Yeah, there's gotta be chill Kang.
That's very true.
There's gotta be one Kang who just does hacky sack all day.
Exactly. Hacky king.
Oh no. He's playing guitar on the quad. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. Here's what's happening for the rest of the week. Tomorrow we're going to be diving into the second half of Phase 5. We're going to be talking about Agatha, Coven of Chaos. We're going to be talking about Daredevil, Born Again, Captain America, New World Order, the Thunderbolts. Thank you, Dashiell, for bringing up the graphic. We want to cover all of the cool stuff that's happening for you guys. And then, of course, you know what's happening on Friday. Comic-Con is being canceled once again. If I have anything to do with it.
That's absolutely not happening. Comic-Con will not be canceled. Comic-Con will be better than ever. Also, don't forget to send your Comic-Con cosplay to my Twitter, John's Twitter, anyone who works at New Rockstar's Twitter with the hashtag #Breakroom and the hashtag Tomicon, or one or the other. We'll figure it out. If you're in cosplay, like if you send us something of you dressed as like Bizarro, we'll assume it's for Tomicon. And you know what? We might show some of the best cosplays on Tomicon. Maybe you'll be a part of. Maybe Tomicon is just all of us.
Come on down.
It lives in our hearts.
We are Tomicon.
Tomicon all year long. By the way, we're also doing a clip of the week. We think the craziest shit is going to happen on Friday, but clip out something from the previous week's episodes and throw them up on our Discord. We'll be playing that at Tamacon at the end of the week as well. You have to be 18 or older to join our Discord, or you could not disclose your age and sneak in.
What are you suggesting?
We're the cool uncles and aunts.
Chris Hansen, if you want to come on in and get you on real fast.
In addition to that, we also have a little voicemails thing, so you can send us a little voicemail if you have a cool question, anything about phases 5 and 6 that you want to ask us that we didn't get to in the chat. Send us a voicemail. Those are a little bit easier for us to find. Those also on our Discord. Go now! What are you waiting for? The show's over. Get out of here!
Get out of here!
Goodbye!
Get out of here!
This is a crap!
Yeah!